Okay, welcome back guys to our podcast Studio Sembang, where we explore the dynamic world of corporate governance and leadership. So I'm your host, Ahmad Farhan, and today's episode focus on the crucial subject of gender composition in the board of director and its impact on risk management. So today we have three exceptional guests joining us. The first one is my friends, Muhammad Asfar. Okay, and the other side of the camera, we have Ainin Sofia and Farah Idrina. Okay, so each guest will bring valuable expertise and insight to shed light on the roles and responsibility of board members and the influence of gender diversity on risk management. So throughout our conversation, we will dive into the role and responsibility of board members, their involvement in managing risk, how gender can influence risk management, and conclude with key takeaways from today's discussion. Without further ado, let's jump in right to our first guest, Muhammad Asfar. Could you please share your insight about role and responsibility of board of directors? Oh, wait a minute. Before we continue, you guys know what is board of directors? The board of directors, often referred to as a board, is a group of individuals elected or appointed to represent the interests of shareholder or stakeholder in a company or organization. The board is responsible for making important decisions and providing oversight and guidance to the organization management. The board of directors typically consists of a group of individuals with diverse background and expertise, chosen based on their skill, experience and knowledge relevant to the organization industry and goals. They may include the company executive, independent director, representative of major shareholder, and sometimes even external expert. The board of directors typically meets periodically, for example quarterly or annually, to discuss and decide on important matters. Individual director may also serve on various committees such as audit, composition or nominating committees, which focus on specific area of governance and oversight. It's worth noting that the specific roles and responsibilities of the board of directors can vary depending on the type of organization. For example, for profit corporation or non-profit organization, and its legal and regulatory requirement. So let's continue to our podcast.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ahmad. In terms of role and responsibility, the board of directors play a vital part in providing guidance and oversight for an organization future strategy. The presence of wide range of skill, experience, and opinion among board of directors is crucial for enabling competent decision making. Furthermore, gender diversity within the boardroom brings a fresh set of viewpoints, which can lead to more well-rounded discussion and better outcomes. Women often bring different approach to problem solving and risk management. Fostering a more inclusive decision-making process is essential to have a board that reflects to diverse stakeholder itself.
Okay, thank you Asfar for your perspective on roles and responsibility of board members. Okay, from my understanding, gender diversity is not just about representation. It's about recognizing that both men and women can bring a unique insight and perspective to the table when it comes to managing risk. Research suggests that diverse board tends to exhibit more through the risk assessment and better risk management practice. It helps in identifying the blind spot and considering a broader range of possibilities. Okay, now let's move on to our second discussion topic. So, Ainin and Farah, how do you see the board roles in risk management? So, Ainin, you go first.
Board of directors play a mandatory role in risk management because they are responsible for developing a strong framework for risk management, ensuring that risks are identified and assessed effectively, and overseeing the adoption of risk mitigation measures. The directors utilize their knowledge and various perspectives to tackle and handle potential risks. Moreover, directors are liable for ensuring that the company complies by every applicable law, regulation, and industry guidelines. They supervise the implementation of effective compliance system to validate that risk reduction strategies comply with legal and ethical standards.
In my opinion, directors play a key role for cultivating a risk-aware culture within the entire company. They create an open communication among employees while motivating them to identify and discuss issues, ensuring that risk management is incorporated into the company culture. And on top of that, the ongoing improvement of risk management methods is influenced by the directors. They also frequently review the performance of existing risk management frameworks, see areas for enhancement, and support the adoption of best practices and cutting-edge technology to improve risk management capabilities.
Okay, building upon that, let's discuss how gender composition in the board of directors. The influence risk management. So, can each of you share your thoughts on this? Maybe Asfa, can you go first?
Okay. For me, gender can influence risk management in several ways. Studies have found that women directors often take a more conservative approach to risk, emphasizing long-term sustainability and ethical consideration. Their risk of adverse nature can bring balance to the decision-making process and prevent excessive risk-taking. However, it's crucial to note that not all women or men have the same risk preference and it varies based on individual.
I see, thank you. How about you, Annie? Annie?
That's a valid point, Asfa. However, it is important to remember that gender is not the only issue that affects risk management. Effective risk management requires a different set of skills, experience, and perspective, regardless of gender. It is crucial to develop an environment where all board members feel comfortable voicing their opinions and challenging norms. A culture of psychological safety and open communication is needed.
I completely agree, Aini. Gender should not be seen as a medium of risk management capabilities. It is more about creating a community where all directors may share their knowledge. In order to provide a more detailed and fair decision-making process, inclusive boards also consider other factors like race, nationality, age, and financial status into considerations.
Okay, thank you guys. Seriously, your opinion, Annie, Farah and Asfa really provided me with a comprehensive understanding of the topic. So, from you guys' opinion, gender diversity may improve the board risk management, decision making, and sustainable growth. So, women need guidance and method for leadership posts. To create a truly democratic and equal workplace, company need to enforce transparent diversity and inclusion policies. So it's really inspiring to hear how gender diversity positively impact risk management. So I'm sure our listener would love to hear some true stories highlighting women's success in handling risk as board directors. So, Farah, could you share a notable example?
Certainly, Amar. One inspiring example is Mary Barra, CEO of General Motors. During her term, she faced the initial switch crisis, which had serious safety implications for the company. Barra's leadership and risk management skills were instrumental in navigating the crisis transparently, addressing the issue, and implementing lasting changes to ensure customer safety. Her ability to manage skillfully in a risky situation shows the influence women can have in a boardrooms.
Another example that I would like to share is Mary Dillon, the former CEO of Ulta Beauty. She successfully managed the company through challenging periods, including during the COVID-19 pandemic. Dillon's tactical decision and risk management action, for example, by implementing stricter health and safety regulation and growing Ulta's e-commerce capabilities, helped the company in surviving the disaster and keeping its competitive advantage.
Okay, thank you Ainin and Farah for your sharing and inspiring stories. So now let's address a commonly debated question. Are companies with gender diverse board more successful than those predominantly male boards? So, as for your opinion about this?
I think company with gender diverse board are more successful. Gender diverse board bring a broader range of perspective, enhance decision making by considering diverse viewpoint and challenges group teams. Women director unit risk assessment capability, often characterized by a caution approach, help company identify and mitigate potential risk effectively. For instance, a study by Credit Suisse Switzerland found that organizations with a higher representation of women on their board exhibit higher profitability, stronger stock performance, and better decision making. Diversity in the boardroom brings fresh perspective, innovate idea, and a deeper understanding of customer, leading to better risk management and overall success.
Okay, thank you. That's very meaningful sharing. However, I would like to express that success in managing risk may be attributed to individual skill, competencies, and experience rather than gender. The board members should be selected.
Legenda kini kembali. Alami cita rasa epik dengan burger samurai hanya di McDonald's.
Based on their qualification, expertise, and track record regardless of their genders. The focus should be on appointing the most competent individual regardless of their genders to ensure effective risk management. So, as we approach the conclusion for our discussion, what are the key takeaways from today's discussion on gender composition in the board of directors? So, Mr. Aswad.
Okay, Mr. Amar. One key takeaway is that gender diversity in the boardroom is crucial for effective decision making. Different perspectives can lead to better risk management and overall governance. It's important to acknowledge the value that diverse experience bring to the table.
Okay, Aini?
Absolutely. It is important to recognize that gender diversity is just one aspect of creating a well-rounded board. Embracing diversity in all its forms can enhance creativity, innovation, and overall board performance. By fostering an inclusive environment, we can tap into a wider range of talent and perspectives.
I could not agree more with Aini. In conclusion, gender diversity should be seen as an opportunity to strengthen the board's ability to navigate risk, make informed decisions, and drive sustainable growth. It is essential to create pathways for women to access board positions and provide them with the necessary support and mentorship.
Okay, gender diversity goes beyond representation and is a key factor in achieving effective decision-making and overall governance. We need to embrace diversity in all its forms, including gender, and foster an inclusive environment that value diverse perspectives and experience. By doing so, we can create boardrooms that are better equipped to address complex challenges and drive positive outcomes. So, thank you guys for sharing. So, before we wrap up, does anyone have any final remarks? Aswad?
Okay. I would like to emphasize the importance of ongoing research and data collection to better understand and the impact of gender diversity on board effectiveness and risk management. This can help us make more informed decisions and drive meaningful change.
I agree with Aspa. It is crucial for organizations to establish a clear diversity and inclusion policies and practices, ensuring that gender diversity is not just a box-ticking exercise, but a genuine commitment to fostering a more inclusive and equitable corporate environment.
Absolutely, Aini. We need to continue advocating for gender equality at all levels, including the boardroom. By embracing diverse perspectives and challenging traditional norms, we can create a more balanced and prosperous future.
Okay, before we end our session today, I got some requests from the subscriber of my YouTube channel. They wanna ask Aswa how to be an effective BOD. Can you share to them?
Okay guys, how to be an effective BOD? Firstly, the BOD must have knowledge and expertise. An effective member possesses a deep understanding of the industry, the organization operation and its competitive landscape. They bring relevant expertise to the table and continuously update their knowledge to stay ahead of emerging trends. And secondly is BOD must have integrity and ethical behavior. Ethical conduct is paramount of a board member, upholding high standard of integrity, promoting transparency and ensuring compliance with the law and regulation are vital responsibility that contribute to the organization credibility. And then the board of directors also have mass strategy vision. Effective board members have a long-term perspective and contribute to the development of a clear strategic vision. They participate actively in strategy planning and discussion, challenge assumption and help shape the organization goals and objectives. And lastly, surely the board of directors have independent thinking. It is essential for board member to bring independent door to the decision-making process. These include asking critical questions, challenges the status quo, and offering diverse perspectives that foster innovation and mitigate growth. I think that's all to answer.
Okay, thank you Aspa for your sharing. I also like to share my points regarding how to be an effective BOD. We have to active engagement. An engaged board member is committed to attending meetings, actively participating in discussion and staying informed about the organization affairs. They contribute their time, talent and the network to help the organization succeed. I think that's will help our subscriber. I think that's all from us. Thank you and I hope you guys enjoy our podcast today. See you next time. Bye bye.